how to derive the quadratic formula. Consider a quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So we know is formula to solve this equation we call the quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus square root and b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Many people think this formula is very difficult and complicated. And the question here is how actually we derive this formula. Let's take a look at this. How we actually derive this formula. Actually, to derive this formula is same as we solve the quadratic equation by completing the square. So let's take a look here. ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. We rewrite this equation as ax squared plus bx and subtract c from both sides. So here that equals negative c there. Okay, because we want to complete the square, and in order to complete the square, normally we want the leading coefficient is 1, but now it's a. So we simply use a to divide all three terms here. So I got, if you use a to divide all three terms here, so you will have this here. And now reduce the a, so here the first term become x squared plus the second term become b over ax. The third term is minus c divided by a. So now we are ready to complete the square. Let's see how we complete the square. Consider you have a perfect square, which is x plus, say, k squared. So which is x plus k times x plus k. And when you do the FOIL, x times x, x squared, x times k, which is xk, you can also write it as kx. Kx plus k squared. So it turns out you have x squared plus 2kx plus k squared. So now, in order to get a perfect square, so what I need for this, obviously I need to add a number, so say the k squared. So then we can get this whole thing as perfect square. The question here for this case, what do we have the k is? Okay, what the k is. So look here, I compare these two terms with these two terms. So x squared same. So if these two same really means I have 2kx same as b over ax. So that tells us that b over a must be equals to 2k if we consider same there. So now you have, I said that's 2k equal to b over a. So I solve this k, I get k equal to b over 2a, both sides divided by 2, b over 2a. So now, remember, if I have x squared plus 2kx plus k squared, I can write this as perfect square. So now I need to add the k here, which in this case is b over a divided by 2. Okay, k squared. So now I add x squared plus b over a x plus the k, which is b over 2a and squared. Okay, so that's x squared plus 2kx plus k squared. Okay, so you add this b over a squared to the left. You also need to add to the right. So b over 2a squared minus c divided by a. Okay, so now what you have here, what we have here is now that is x squared plus 2kx plus k squared, like what we have here. Because that's case, b over a is the k, and k squared, which is b over a squared. So according to this, that means that simply give us x plus k squared. K is b over 2a, b over 2a, and squared. And on the other side, I just go ahead, square this. I have a b squared minus divided by 4a squared minus c divided by a. And if I want to combine them together, I must have a common denominator. For this 4a squared a, the common denominator can be easily see, which is 4a squared. So that means I need to multiply 4a to the numerator and the denominator. So here I multiply 4a here, I multiply 4a here. So now I have a b squared minus 4a squared minus 4ac divided by 4a squared. So now, and I can rewrite this in one fraction, which is b squared minus 4ac divided by 4a squared. So this equal to x plus b over 2a squared. So now, when I want to solve x, I take square root both sides. Okay, that side takes square root. I have x plus b over 2a. That side takes square root, so I get square root and b squared minus 4ac divided by 4a squared. Okay, and remember plus minus there. Okay, so square root 4a squared, which is 2a. Okay, actually it should be plus or minus, but since you already get a plus minus, so which give you that. So now all I need just solve for the x. So I subtract b over 2a from both sides. I get x equal to minus b over 2a, okay, plus minus, and the b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. This equation, this solution, if I rewrite this into one fraction, because they have same denominator, which is 2a, then you have a negative b plus minus, oh, not b squared, b and the b squared minus 4ac. That is exactly the quadratic formula. You can see that's exactly equal to quadratic formula there. Okay, that's how we derive the quadratic formula, derived quadratic formula.